So this episode could be called Audiophiles in their own words. Who are we? Who are we? Well, there's a lot going on, and we're going to cover that in this episode. So I posted the question to my Twitter followers, and their answers were really good, really interesting. So I'm going to post a lot of them in today's video. But in terms of who we are, what makes you an audiophile? Well, Steve's definition is very wide open. My definition of an audiophile is anyone who can, some of the time, listen to music without multitasking is an audiophile. It has nothing to do with their system, how expensive their system is, how great their system is. That's not the point. Just because you own an expensive audio system, that doesn't make you an audiophile. No. Not at all. Any more than owning a Leica camera makes you a great photographer, or owning a Ferrari makes you a great driver. No, you're rich because you can buy expensive stuff. But that doesn't translate into a passion for, in this case, audio or music even, right? A lot of rich people just buy it because they want a nice system or something. It's not they're going to sit and actually listen to it. It's there. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I'm just saying, just because someone has an expensive audio system, that doesn't make them an audiophile. Speaking of important things, my name is Steve Guttenberg, and I am the Audiophiliac. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel, please consider subscribing. If you already have subscribed, thank you very much for doing so. And if you like what I'm doing here, please give me a like. But back to the question at hand today is, are you an audiophile? Yeah. Now, of course, audiophile covers a lot of ground, right? There are audiophiles who are only into DIY stuff. They want to build their own. They want to roll their own stuff. They bought, from various companies. They said, I can do it better. They make their own speakers. They make their own amplifiers. Some even make their own turntables. But in any case, if you're a DIY guy, and you listen, you're an audiophile. And of course, some of you guys are really into vintage audio. Yeah, there's vintage audio, and some people are only into analog audio, and some are only into digital audio, and some people are into headphones or desktop systems or whatever. So there's a lot of area to cover in this audiophile universe, right? We're big. We are diverse. There's a lot going on. So now I'm going to start to show you some of these tweets. And I'm going to let them linger on the screen for a while, but this first one is from Tom. And Tom, for me, hit the nail right on the head. That when you start to feel like the musicians are there, the singer is there in your room, not where they were necessarily when they made the session, but they have now appeared in your room, that's the stuff that keeps pulling you in as an audiophile. Because you're listening and they're right there. That is spine-tingling stuff when it happens. That doesn't happen with every recording, and doesn't happen all the time, doesn't even happen every day. But when it happens, it's a really big deal. And then there's Jay. Jay is looking for a visceral, emotional response to the sound of music in his room. It's not just there. No, it's there and it's alive. That's what makes it exciting for Jay. So for Jeff, it's about the intersection between science and art that comes together with a great sounding system in his room. I like Alistair's remark. It's the constant striving for better. You're getting there a little bit at a time. Sometimes you go backwards a little bit, but the striving for better sound, that's what he's going for. And then there's Alla. Alla was transfixed as a small child and is still going for it, still that moving forward. I think that is a big part of what makes people be audiophiles for life. Some of us say they reach a point where they burn out and they go, enough of this, I'm just going to buy a table radio and be done with it or something. But then they come back. Because once you hear it, once you hear that great sound, that sound that moves you, it's hard to unhear, and it's hard to go back. I mean, you can for a while, because it is all about the music after all. But when you've heard how good it can be, it's hard to just hear it as background sound. That's the problem, I guess. And then Mark put up this, where he said during COVID lockdown, he discovered how good really, really affordable gear can sound. It was revelatory to him. Now I'm going to put up a few more of just others and without commenting on them. But the point is, yeah, I think what draws us in and what keeps us there is the journey. Now I've talked about that before, that this is a journey. It's not, it's the trip. It's not necessarily you arrive at the destination and you're done. I mean, for some people they're done, but for a lot of audiophiles, it's that striving. It's the striving because you feel like you're getting closer and closer to the source of the music. What's in that recording, you're just getting more and more from it. It may be a recording that you've listened to for 50 years, right? Like I've been listening to Sgt. Pepper for 50 years. And when I hear it now, I truly feel like I'm hearing more of that recording than George Martin did when he produced the record, or John, Paul, George, and Ringo, when they made it in 1967. Because I'm hearing it over a much higher resolution system, a just better system than they had then. So I'm hearing more from it than the creators did when they made it. So yeah, I really feel like that's huge, right? That you can get more and more out of the music the longer you live with it and the better your system gets. That's big thrills for me. So I just want to say this. If you're a newbie and you just stumbled upon this channel and you're watching other audio channels on YouTube, just take a deep breath here. As I said earlier in the episode, it starts with listening. Listening is the single most important part. And you don't even need anything amazing at all. You could do it with earbuds. You could do it with anything. Just focus on listening to music. And if you could do that, listen to a song or two without doing other stuff, you have the potential to be an audiophile, a person who gets more out of music because they're hearing deeper into the sound of music. That's what this is. It's not more complicated than that. Getting there, there's a lot of twists and turns. It's a long and winding road. Audiophile audio has never been better. I mean, never sounded better. So for well under $1,000, you can have a very, very decent starter system. And then if you want to, you can continue building from there. Or you could just stick with the $1,000 system and live happily ever after. And now we can actually see each other's systems here on the Audiophiliac show. Because right now I'm going to show you the Audiophiliac viewer system of the day. This one comes from David. He is in the UK and he has a mixed vintage and new system. The turntable is a Garrard 401 from 1963 and it's sitting in a granite plinth. The arm is an SME V, the cartridge is a Den Hul Colibri, and the phono-stage is Lector. It's made in Italy. Digital systems running Roon with a Stax Link 2 streamer. The DAC itself is custom with an ESS Sabre chip. Preamp is an AudioPax Model 5 made in Brazil. The amp, though, is British. It is a Croft Series 3 valve amp running 519 output valves. Speakers, you know those speakers. Those are Quad 57 Electrostatics, and these are some of the last ones built in 1982. Sub is a Rel Strata 5. David says the system is a time machine. We are back. My name is Steve Guttenberg, and I am the Audiophiliac. Thank you for watching this show today. As I said earlier, if you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give me a thumbs up if you think I deserve it. Beyond that, one other thing you might want to check out is my Patreon, which can be found at patreon.com/Audiophiliac. So if you are new to this and you want to hear some really, really, really high quality recordings for free as a download or 2 downloads, there's a link below in the description from 2 samplers made specifically for this channel by a terrific company called MA Recording. And you can download some incredible music that sounds mind-bogglingly good. And it's free. Okay, so I think my work here is at last complete. Thank you again for watching, and I really, really do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.